She's wired up, oh, she's on fire, fire, crackling hot, she's taking me higher, better believe she's the one who makes you perceive, dials and sparks, it's all supreme, frequency queen, yeah!
Hedwig Kiesler was born in Vienna, Austria in November 1914. Her father was a highly respected banker, and her mother was a noted pianist. Her parents also had Jewish heritage, although her mother had converted to Catholicism, in which she raised her daughter. Young Hedy was entranced by the theater from a very early age, but her greatest joy came in learning about technology and electronics with her father.
See, Hedy, machines have a rhythm, like people. You listen carefully, they tell you how they want to move.
Then maybe I can teach them new dances.
In an act of teenage rebellion, Hedy got herself a job at Austrian silent film powerhouse Sasha Film, which she parlayed first into 2 small film roles before transitioning into a successful theatrical turn.
You call that tea? In Nashville, we'd drown a donut in something stronger.
After a stunning performance in the Max Reinhardt production of The Weaker Sex, Hedy found herself whisked off to Berlin, where she was suddenly the young woman on everyone's lips.
That girl's face could start a war.
And don't get me started on your coffee. It's so weak it ought to come with a lifeguard.
One man in particular watched hungrily from the shadows. Shady arms merchant Fritz Mandel became obsessed with Hedy and determined to make her his bride. Mandel had strong ties with European fascists through his business, which caused Hedy's parents to oppose the match due to her Jewish heritage. They finally relented after learning that Mandel himself had Jewish heritage, a fact he would conceal in order to cement his alliances. As Mandel's wife, Hedy had a front row seat to the dark world of arms deals. Fritz paraded her like a trophy of war, showing off his beautiful young wife to impress his associates. He had no inkling of the mind behind that face, or that Hedy was analyzing and memorizing every diagram and schematic she saw.
With my factories, no army in Europe without gunners.
Guns are not the problem. It is our torpedoes that need refining. All of their might can be nullified in an instant with a simple radio jammer.
Gentlemen, you have no need of torpedoes if your enemies never reach the sea. My guns will give you the most vicious invasion force the world has ever seen.
And your wife, she's more dangerous than your cannons.
In 1933, Hedy appeared in a Czech art film called Ecstasy. The film was celebrated in continental Europe as a bold artistic endeavor, but it was seen as scandalous in America and banned in Berlin. Mandel was furious that his wife had become a sex symbol and forbade her from acting. She became a virtual prisoner in her palatial home.
Now, Hedwig, don't fret. You'll have plenty of entertaining to do at home. It's time to put away this childish acting fantasy and begin behaving like a proper lady.
Lady? I would think a lapdog more to your taste.
After 4 years, Hedy seized her chance at freedom. She slipped a sedative into her maid's tea, disguised herself by changing into the maid's uniform, and slipped away, cloaked and hooded, into the night. Renouncing her Austrian citizenship, Hedy fled stateless, first to Paris, then to London, and then finally on to New York via ship. She caught the eye of another passenger, Hollywood magnate and MGM co-founder Louis B. Mayer.
Beautiful women are a dime a dozen in my business. I see women like you every day.
There are no women like me.
We'll have to do something about your name. No studio is going to book the Star of Ecstasy. How do you like the name Lamarr?
Hedy Lamarr landed in Hollywood with an enormous splash in 1938. She immediately had a hit with the film Algiers, and soon audiences couldn't get enough of the most beautiful woman in the room. What almost no one realized was that she was often the smartest person in the room as well. Hedy had a string of hits with Boomtown and Comrade X in 1940, followed by Ziegfeld Girl in 1941 and White Cargo in 1942. But these roles placed her allure in the spotlight rather than her acting talent. None of it compared to the joy she found in a box of wires and a soldering iron. The advent of war in the U.S., this time against the very fascist she'd escaped from, renewed her interest in the machinery of battle. But Hedy was about to meet the one man who could see through the glitz to the razor-sharp wit beneath. George Antheil was a pianist and experimental composer. He was experimenting with a method of switching the rolls on player pianos to synchronize the sound.
Wait, say that again? The piano with the rolls and the switching.
You mean synchronization? Why?
Because torpedoes need the same thing. If we could make their signals hop, no enemy could jam them.
Hedy and George, flooded with inspiration, went straight to work. Hedy realized that the frequency of a torpedo's firing signal could be encoded between the control center and the device by hopping the signal through a range of frequencies. They selected a range of 88 frequencies, analogous to the number of keys on a piano, effectively generating an unbreakable code system.
You're saying a torpedo and a piano could dance the same tune?
Exactly. Spread spectrum, frequency hopping, the music of war.
Hedy and George were a dream team of imagination and technological know-how. They worked feverishly to perfect their invention. Finally, triumphant, they succeeded. The dream team was ready to present their work to the people who needed it, the U.S. Navy. Yet, brilliant as the invention was, there would always be people who couldn't see past Hedy's looks to her brilliance. And those people were usually the ones in charge.
With respect, Miss Lamarr, you should stick to selling war bonds if you want to serve this country.
And what do you suggest, Commander? That beauty and brains don't mix?
The Navy thanks you for your service. Good day.
Furious as she was, Hedy did want to help the U.S., so selling war bonds she did. Reluctantly, she filed away her patents and diagrams and focused on her film career. In 1945, the Allied forces claimed victory in the war, and in 1950, Hedy starred in her most successful picture, the biblical epic Samson and Delilah. In 1953, Hedy Lamarr became a U.S. citizen. In her spare time, she continued inventing, including a new type of traffic light and a food additive that would instantly turn a glass of water into a soda pop. In 1960, Hedy was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Fame fades fast. 6 marriages, courtroom battles, whispers in the tabloids. Hedy's career was well and truly in decline, and she retired to live a quiet life. She looked back fondly on her careers, both as actress and inventor, but it seemed that the world had forgotten. Behind the scenes, though, Hedy's invention was just beginning to be discovered. As the Cold War spun out across the decades, scientists working on communications realized the incredible potential of her system for secure, long-distance transmissions.
Forgotten? Oh, I don't think so. I think they meant classified.
Stars on Hollywood sidewalks were fine and good, but in 1997, the Electronic Frontier Foundation finally gave Hedy the recognition she craved. In advanced years and declining health, Hedy would be unable to attend.
Miss Lamarr, you've won!
Took you long enough.
Her 1942 patent became the foundation for Wi-Fi, GPS, and Bluetooth. Hedy Lamarr died in 2000 at age 85. Today, she is remembered both for her unparalleled success as an actress and for her contribution to modern technology.